Understand? Your hands is white ass, nigga, stop and ask you. Give a damn what you talk about. Give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Everybody put on that piece, so everybody put on that lip mic on. Boy, ain't stop and ask you. Promise, my nigga serious. Boy, and they hit us with dope and kill us with crack. What the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. You catch down with your blood. Traded you in and bought a new bitch. Ask you the prophets, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I say your walls won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed the young on parole because of the COVID. It feel like the hoes in this world and double together. Know when it's golden and ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just so the devil, the school never settle. Yeah, you need the prophets. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, yeah, niggas stop and ask you the prophets. Like we all come together. Cause you don't say, they say God sold up the world. God sold up the world. And all yeah, niggas stop and ask you. Give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe. You gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Ain't you know my young pray on our knees, nigga. Stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, you ain't with me, stop and ask shit. Or I'm gonna step outside of the show for the fake niggas. Say solid, I got it, let's go, let's go. I ain't taking no loss, and ain't no talking, but we got the flow. Ain't no peace, just catch it all with your own big low to the right on flex. I look at can't keep it safe. And I can never let bite off his bite off. Got you, baby mother on high, baby pass through the fire. Ask you the props, that baby so belong to the Lord. I dare your body, you never will fail you, bitch, I can afford. I can piss off, you bring my water. But your leaders weak, let the lies slip through their teeth. They ain't these stop and ask you the props.
That's just the reality, first. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years. But that's what the church is going to lie. That's why they just too hard to really out your prophets.
Boy, ask me, stop and ask you. Give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe. Man, I stand up and serve my God.
Shalom Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Barakatham. This is Priest and Officer Darak of the Isupk under Commanding General Yohana. Started out at 125th Street in Harlem, New York since 1969. We are the home of the truth, and we are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Now, today's topic is a very important topic, especially with everything that's going on today. We got the wars, the P. Diddy scandals, the mega church scandals, and the deportation. It's all out chaos out here. And today is more important than anything that you make sure you're dealing with the right teachers. Beware of these fake pastors that call themselves Christians, because you got to realize that a Christian means to follow Christ. So if you follow Christ, you're going to walk the walk he walked. You're going to teach what he teaches. You're not going to say, oh, since our king was crucified, the laws are done away with. But that defeats his whole purpose of being here. Then how dare you say you love God and not keep his commandments? How dare you? That's just a travesty. I can't believe that people even say that and try to portray themselves as truly following Christ in their teaching against the law, statutes, and commandments, which is pushing our people further into turmoil. It's keeping them further away from their God, and it's making them weak. We're never going to overcome our situation and circumstances until we come back to the statutes, laws, and commandments. Martin Luther King, they marched for over 60 years. Look at Jesse Jackson. He's in a wheelchair. He couldn't even make it this year. They was out there pushing him in the wheelchair last year. Enough of that. There is only one way. And it's written for us by our ancestors, our aunts and uncles. These are our relatives in these scriptures for the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. These just aren't just any old body. This ain't the rest of the nations. This is Blacks, Hispanic, and Native American history. That's why they don't want to teach Black history in schools. They only want to go back to slavery. That's why they only go back to the pyramids over in South America. They don't go back further than that to truly see where these people come from, which is us. And it's documented. All of it is documented. But I'm not going to talk too much because I don't like to speak my own words. I like to speak the words of this book. Let this book speak for me, because this is what I let guide me. This is the path that I follow, because this is the safe path. This is safety. I tried every other ways. Put myself in jeopardy. Had my kids, my family in jeopardy. Thinking that, well, by any means necessary. Then I learned the truth, that there's a way, better way, easier way. Yeah, you still gonna have your struggles, but you don't have to risk your freedom. You don't have to harm your kids with that time they lost from spending with you. You don't have that, well, I sold somebody some drugs and they had an aneurysm and died. You don't have that over your head. You can sleep good at night. I had to learn this the hard way. Everything has rules. Life has rules. You don't follow the rules, it's not going to work out too well. It's going to have all kind of problems. If you follow the rules, you still going to have problems, but there'll be problems that you will be able to overcome, because the Most High in Christ is going to help you overcome your problems, because you're following the statutes, laws, and commandments. Now, you need to be aware of these false prophets. Creflo Dollars say that, oh, you can't keep the statute, laws, and commandments, which is a lie. Because here in the Isupk, under Commanding General Yohana, we don't teach that. We teach that you can keep the laws. They're not hard at all. What's hard about not eating pork? What's so hard about that? Keeping the holidays in the Bible. You know what the problem is? You know why everybody wants to say that these statutes and laws are done away with? Most of it is about women, because they don't like the fact that we're not supposed to marry into the other nations. I don't have a problem with it. The 12 tribes are the most beautifulest tribes on the planet. I don't have a problem with it. But then you got these people, it's because, especially nowadays, especially here in the Pacific Northwest, Portland and Seattle, they're chasing paper. You're actually selling out for a piece of paper. It's because what you see them having and you want it, you think the only way that you could achieve it is to attach yourself with them. No, brother, no. Not attaching yourselves to them will make you strong, and you will achieve even more than that and have peace of mind. You won't have to worry about celebrating these fairy tale holidays. What is it? Tooth fairy, Easter egg hunts, and Christmas and all this old chaos, and none of it is in the Bible. None of it. Those people don't even know about the holidays that's in the Bible. Can't name you one. And these false prophets is part of the problem. So you really have to be careful of who you dealing with. You got to test these prophets. So let me start out, and I'm gonna go to Matthew chapter 7, verse 15, and let's just see what the scriptures, which is actually our records, has to say, because there's nothing new over the sun. This is all a repeat. Fortunately for us, we have some guidance on what our elders, our relatives went through to help guide us through the same situation so that we don't make the same mistakes they made. Matthew chapter 7, verse 15. Because, I mean, they're telling us we didn't keep the statutes and commandments, and here we're going to leave this scriptures to let you know that the reason we got in this situation is from not keeping our code of conduct, our laws, embracing the heathen nations cultures. Matthew chapter 7, verse 15, and this is Christ talking, and I'm from the tribe of Judah, and Christ is from the tribe of Judah, so that's just like my uncle. That's my big uncle, the OG uncle. We all got that uncle that we look up to. We be like, whoa, Christ is him. Matthew chapter 7, verse 15. Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravishing wolves. You got to be careful. They come to you in sheep clothes. They dressed all nice. They got nice cars, nice homes, big old churches. Got these people donating all their money. How much of that money do they actually take and feed the people with? That's what Christ did. He didn't just preach a sermon. He was giving out guidance on how to survive, on how to maneuver around those Romans that have sacked our kingdom. That's what he was doing. And at the same time, he was feeding everybody. That's well known. So what is these pastors doing? They're getting all this money. Let's start off with TD Jakes. What is TD Jakes doing with all that money? He got on all these designer sweatsuits, private planes. He's over there caught up with P. Diddy. Talking about P. Diddy forced him to come to his parties and be just a part of all that wickedness. And he has the nerves to call himself a Christian, that he followed Christ. He wants to tell you that he loves God. But that's not the love of God. If he loved God, well, matter of fact, that's not, let me talk about it. Let's go find out what actually the love of God is. Let's go to 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. I'm sorry, John chapter 5, verse 3. No, 1 John. Yeah, 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. First John chapter 5, verse 3. Now, this is after our King was crucified. This is what the apostles was about. First John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God. This is the love of God right here. Our brother finna break it down for us. You know, our uncle is finna break it down for us. First John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. What? This is the love of God. If you love God, you're going to keep his commandments. I'm going to continue. And his commandments are not grievous. In other words, it's saying, and his commandments are not hard. This isn't, it's nothing difficult about staying away from pork, shellfish, not messing with another brother's woman, not forcing yourself on a woman, not being a part of the alternative lifestyle, celebrating the holidays. There's nothing hard about that. So why would Creflo Dollar sit up here and say that we can't keep these statutes, laws, and commandments? It makes me want to just smack him right in the mouth. How dare you deceive my people like that when we're perishing from diabetes, high blood pressure, hypertension. We suffer a lot from mental illness, from dealing with this oppression, and a lot of it is inherited. Every Black and Hispanic and Native American man is dealing with post-traumatic stress. Their parents dealt with post-traumatic stress. So remember that when you're dealing with your brothers and sisters. All of us have a mental illness. We had to have had one to survive so long behind enemy lines. And for these false pastors to come up here and teach you not to keep the law, they're putting you in danger. Don't listen to them. They are false teachers. Test them. You just hear what John had to say. This is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. So how can these people come centuries later and try and tell us that the laws is done away with? Who are you to change these teachings? So no wonder why we're in the situation that we're in. Beware of these false teachers, these false prophets. They fake, they phony. Hey, they out here living in the alternative lifestyle. Look at TD Jakes, man, dancing on his lap. What's that? What's the one dude used to sing that song, Make Me Wanna Stump? He all on TD Jakes' lap. They know this man. The people in the church know this man. Don't let nobody like that teach you these scriptures. Don't let them, because he's leading you into fire, into the pit of fire. You know, he's not trying to save your soul. He's actually getting you to sell your soul to our oppressor, who is the devil that the Bible speaks of. He's in cahoots with him. He's part of the synagogue of Satan. He's full of deceit and lies. Look at what's the guy Osteen that had the mega church. They found over 300,000 in his walls, in the bathroom. Now, I know they got cameras in that big old church, so somebody's seen something. And they would have never even known if it wasn't for the plumber going in there fixing the plumbing and finding the money. Now he know that money's in there. Now you see why when they had that national disaster, he didn't want to let people in there. They might find the money. The pipes might bust and the money, somebody go find the money. And he doesn't teach to keep the law, statutes, and commandments in the Bible. And he's a heathen. This is only for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. See, this is the problem. You got all these different heathen nations that are trying to teach you from your family records about your history and what you should do to get out of the predicament that you're in. Do you really think that that's what they want? They survive off your sweat. We made America great. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We built this country up. And it's all off oppression. America has become rich pretty much off of slavery, and today is no more than a modern day slavery. Look at how high your bills is and your rate of pay. And for those that are making what you would consider a decent rate of pay, look how much you got to work. I remember I worked 83 hours in a week. I was not a happy person. I would have quit, but I was making too much money. I couldn't afford to quit. I got child support. I got rent. I got to eat, cell phone, utilities, gas. Then you want to have you a pension. You need some health care, and all that's coming out your check. Depending on how far you going to work, trust me, I used to always add that up into my rate of pay, how much I'm paying for gas. And I would have to tell them people, look, it's costing me this much to come to work. So, I mean, I could work somewhere closer and I'm going to save some money. And that's how I used to get my raises. People used to wonder, how come, The Rock is always getting his raise? You got to know how to go in there and talk to them people because they don't care. Because you got to realize if you're making $38 an hour, they're making 3 times that off you every hour. So how overpriced stuff is. And now it's just all out chaos out there. It's all out war. So now is the time more than ever that you get you some good teachers so that you can get you some good guidance so that you can get guided through all this stuff. Just don't jump into just any old Israelite group. Look at some of them. Look at Nathaniel. Lord have mercy. I ain't even trying to be like clowning or nothing, but he looks very, very, he does not look healthy. He looks bad. This teaching our people is nothing to play with. You cannot be a part of that alternative lifestyle and think you're going to teach the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans on how to overcome this oppression and gather together so that our king will come back. You can't teach them that. You just can't because you're I don't know what that is. I can't even call it. I've seen pictures of them taking pictures on the 4th of July, celebrating the pagan holidays. I don't know what that is. That's just crazy to me. But they love to get together in March. Oh, let's go march. Let's go march. How many people have you fed? How many people have you clothed? Christ said, feed my people. How many have you done that? And I just really feel sad for the brothers, because I know it's a lot of brothers in the IUIC that love Christ, that love, the Most High and our King, and they're really trying to get close to him, and they just did not choose wisely. Choose your pastor, choose your teachers wisely, because a lot of these is like, I'm gonna keep it real. I think the IUIC is a federal operation. You gotta sign this non-disclosure agreement. You have to have a job. Don't have no warrant. They turning you in. That's what happened to our king. He got turned in to the police by Judas. So, hey, this is not to mention they wear purple. Lazarus and the rich man. So here we're warning you about this. Let's get on to some of these other Israelite groups. The House of David, which was a break off. And what happened? All of them was eating swine. Where they at now? Sakari, Gorilla Hebrew, all on the internet talking about, come on, man, that's disgusting, dude. And then you still want to try and, even after he got exposed, because the Most High in Christ is going to expose you. You mean to tell me you still want to try and teach some scriptures? No, bro, you can't teach nobody nothing. You have to lead by example. And that's a very piss poor example. I don't want my kids listening to you. Then they find all this stuff out and, nah, man, no, step down. And what about the other brothers that was in the Sakari? What about them? How do you think that affect them? These brothers in the IUIC finding out that they get a lot of new brothers coming in. All of a sudden, they find out that Nasty Nate was passing around pictures of males' genitals, which caused brothers to break off and start another Israelite group. See, that's why the ISUPK, we are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. We are the home of the truth. This Bible is not a book of trail mix for us. We go to it from the rooter to the tutor, and we're going to let you know. You ask all the questions you want to. We're not going to belittle you like I've seen some of these other Israelites groups do when a brother asks a question and start badgering them. No, we're going to give you clarity so that you will fully understand, because you need to understand these scriptures, because we are at war. And there's only one way to win this war, and that is to separate us like the Most High in Christ told us to do. We are to be holy. Holy means separate, and that's the problem. Brothers and sisters I don't understand what the attraction to that pork is in the shellfish. It almost killed me. But hey, we're stiff-necked hearted people. I guess I'm one of the fortunate ones, because I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Now, I know the Bible said don't eat this stuff. Now, look where I'm at. I'm in the hospital. Maybe I should take a heed to this. See, but these pastors, the statutes, laws are done away with it. Go ahead and eat that pork. Go ahead and eat that shrimp. Go ahead and eat that lobster tail, that crab. Don't listen to them. let's see what the scriptures has to say about listening to them. I'm gonna go to Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 16. Let's see what you know. Let's just see, because you really that's the beautiful thing about this Bible. You do not have to go by just any man's words. You could go in here and find exactly what it's saying for yourself. That's Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 16. Let's see what it says, because this is going to keep you safe. This is going to make you strong. It's going to help out your finances. It's going to strengthen your kids, your family. This is the key right here. Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 16. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesies unto you. They make you vain. They speak a vision of their own heart and not out of the mouth of the Lord. See, they telling you fairy tales. This is what the scriptures, don't listen to them. Don't even listen to them. I feel. This is what these pastors are out there telling you. Well, it says this, but I feel. No, man, it's saying exactly what it says. It's telling me not to listen to you because you full of it. You just trying to get me for my dollars. You a liar. You're lying. Just so that you can get your pockets, you selling me out. Just like the traders that was working with the Romans and went down to make a treaty with them. You doing the same thing now. You're selling us out just to fill your pockets. But a lot of them is starting to like really get exposed. And the rest of them will too. You know, Most High in Christ is like, he ain't playing right now. You see what the weather's like right now? Just went through that flood in Texas, right? The sheriff, he hard on immigrants. But he had to call the Mexican president to come and help him because his family was trapped. That's what it took for him to be like, wait a minute, man, I'm tripping. You know, I've been acting a fool, discriminating against these people, just doing them dirty, you know, locking them up in cages, having them sleep with aluminum foil. And they came over and saved my family. But now the rest of the people is like, oh, no, that's wrong. They immigrants, you know. And, hey, he said that the people that saved his family could come back and forth as many times as he want to. He ain't never going to bother them. Boy, those people was upset about that down there in Texas. Now what's going on? It's another flood. It's another flood coming. You know, I think they said it rained a month's worth of rain in one night. 24 hours, a month's worth of rain. And there's more rain coming. Now it's the time for you to come back to the truth and really find out about your culture, because this is Black, Hispanic, and Native American culture. This is only for us. You know, this is only for us. They just embraced this book because they wanted to use this to clean up the mess that was in their society. The incest, the mothers sleeping with sons, the sons sleeping with their mothers, sleeping with their fathers' wives and just all. We don't do that. That's a very, very rare thing that in the Black, Hispanic, and Native American culture. And when it is done, it's something that they've learned from these other nations. I'm going to read that again. Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 16. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesize unto you. They make you bang. They make you weak, man. They make you just fall for any old thing. You know, all you want to do is sit around the bonfire and sing Kumbaya. They speak of a vision of their own heart. They're just speaking, they're just telling you what you want to hear and how they feel. Like T.D. Jakes writing those books, My Philosophy of Life, how he feel. And not out of the mouth of the Lord. And it's not out of the mouth of the Lord. All these extra books, My Philosophy on Life. Dude, you tripping. And he still ain't got up there and admitted what he was doing. He want to say P. Diddy made him do it. Come on, man. Come on, man. He didn't make you do that. You couldn't wait. You couldn't wait to get over there. He told you he gonna give you some money to help clean up his image, and you was like, that gap in your tooth went on over there, and you was all in. You couldn't wait and just completely indulged because you were already a part of that lifestyle anyway. All right, I'm going to drop that. And I want to go to 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 1. See, because the Most High in Christ, they, they might not, you might be looking around being like, well, when they going to get it? They living large and this and that. But, trust me, he's going to get them. He's going to get them. And a lot of them is going through it right now. So that's 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 1. But there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privily shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that brought them, and bring upon themselves swift destructions. See what that's, man, swift destruction. So just because you don't see what's going on in these people's lives, trust me, it's complete chaos. Just because you don't see their medical records, I mean, they're probably just, man, got some serious issues going on, with their health, So don't think that they're getting away with it. Many have been stricken down. A couple in this Israelite groups, these offset Israelite groups have literally lost their lives. So this is like, the Most High in Christ don't mess around. They evidently thought it was a game. I don't know what they were thinking, but this is not something to be taken lightly. So that, I'm going to drop that, and I'm going to go to 1 John chapter 4. 'Cause you Christians, y'all love to be in the New Testament, and then want to say that the laws is done away with. I mean, what do you guys? I don't understand that. Because it's right here, it's written all throughout this. Is all about keeping the laws, and I just don't understand. I wish somebody could explain it to me because it blows my mind. It's something that I never understood my whole life. Because I tried to do Christianity a couple of times, but then I read, so I'll start reading and I'll be like, wait a minute, this says well, yeah, the laws are done away with, but this is after Mashiach was crucified. Oh well, yeah, but the laws are done away with. Hold on, man, you're not making no sense. See, that don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. That's 1 John chapter 4, verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone on. I'm going to start again, Salakia. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. Hereby know ye the Spirit of God. This is how you're going to know the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesseth that Jesus Christ has come in the flesh is of God. And every spirit that confesses not that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is not of God. And this is the spirit of Antichrist, whereof ye have heard that it should come, and even now already is in the world. Test these cats, man. Test them. Ask them about the statutes, laws, and commandments. Because if they gonna call themselves following Christ and like confessing Christ as their Lord and Savior, then you got to be keeping the statutes, laws, and commandments. And if you're teaching people that they could confess that Christ is our King and has come in the flesh, you got to keep the law, because that's what he was all about. So Christian means to be Christ-like. You guys aren't Christians. I hate to tell you, it's a lot of people out there, been thinking they Christians. No, man, you ain't following Christ. You're not a Christian. You might as well be Catholic. Something else. Because it plays simple. You're just not following the teachings of Christ. Christ said, if you love me, keep my commandments. He didn't say just keep it while I'm alive. He said, if you love me, keep my commandments. Don't let these sorry ass pastors keep lying to you. They are false prophets. Stop listening to them. They are liars. All they want to do is fill up their pockets. I remember one time when I would try Christianity, I got into a situation where I needed help with my electricity bill. And I was really trying, and I was paying tithes, paid my tithes and all that. I went and tried to get some help, and they would not help me. They told me, we're going to pray about it, brother. You'll be all right. God's going to find a way. Hold on. Wait a minute, man. Wait a minute. Then I seen them going around and help this brother's daughter that wasn't even in the church. Never came to church. Ain't been in there one time. They went and paid her rent. Like $1,200. I only needed a couple $100. And I said, I'm done. I'm done. Here in the UPK, we work a totally different way. You get in that situation like that, hey, we're going to get together and put our money together and make sure your bill get paid. Do it all the time. You know, sometimes I get told, nope, don't send that much. And I have benefited from that. It came through when I really, really needed it. I needed that help, and man, it went a long way with me. You know, but that's not how that Christian church work. They gonna point you to where you could go get some help to pay that bill. Send you down there to the Saint Vincent de Paul or something, to their energy assistant program. That's what they gonna do. That's what they gonna do. All right, let's see. Let me go to Romans chapter 16 and verse 17. Romans chapter 16, verse 17. Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause division and offenses, contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them. So we're going to mark these Christians, these Catholics, fake Israelite groups, because that's what our ancestors told us to do. So don't get mad when you get put on blast, because we need to warn our people about you. And you need to step down, put on all black, and get in the Isupk classes so that you can learn correctly. Because, you know, all you other Israelite groups, you guys are off. All you guys are off. You know, and you need to come back to the truth. You guys are the authors of confusion, because there's a lot of people trying to find out the truth, and they might start out with you and then find out how off you are, that you're truly not following all these books, all the teachings in these books. So that's it for the class today. Beware of these false prophets. You know, they after your dollars. You know what I'm saying? Sit on your wallet. Like, share, subscribe. And until next week on Thursday, every Thursday at 9 p.m. is a scripture breakdown class. So if you have any questions, go ahead and bring your questions with you next week. Shalom, Israel.